So for Taylor Swift, let me make it a little bit bigger. Pause. For Taylor Swift, she's 20% of Republic's entire. So Republic Music Group. So let's see who's on Republic. Drake's on Republic. Post Malone, Nicki Minaj. Republic got the big dogs, really. Like Republic is like Nicki Minaj. Taylor Swift is 1/5 of their entire label's consumption. So let's put this in perspective. Well, obviously, she wouldn't sign the deal that Drake would sign, I believe, because she's all about this. Oh, I want to own all my masters because Scooter Braun brought my shit. Whatever. But if she's 20% of Republic and Drake is 8%, she's twice as much as Drake. If Drake got 400, she could get 800, right? But of course, here's the thing: it's different genres. She would get 800, let's say for 4 albums, like how Drake, supposedly got 4, maybe 4 for 400. So let's put it in perspective. Yeah, when Taylor Swift dropped one album, like she don't drop albums as frequently as Drake, even though she's been doing these, we're dropping an old album, right? But yeah, she could essentially sign $1 billion deal. She's 1/5 of the entire fucking label. Drake, and by the way, and then of Universal Music Group. So the entire Universal Music Group, she's 5%. Right? She's literally 5% of the entire thing, right? Here we go with Drake. Now Drake is 8% of Republic. So if you have 10 Drakes, you could eliminate the rest of everybody else on Universal, which means The Weeknd, whatever, Weeknd, Taylor, everybody else, but you're not going to find 10 Drake. And obviously one Taylor is 2 Drakes. So I hope y'all understand. I'm just talking straight numbers here. Taylor is 2 Drakes. To put it in perspective. So Taylor is 2 Drakes. Zach Bryan is on Warner. He's number 3. So Drake is number 2. Zach Bryan is on Warner, and he's 10%. So he's the big dog on Warner. Taylor, the big dog on Universal, then Drake. Then the big dog on Warner is Zach Bryan. Never heard his music, but he's a big dog, right? And overall, he's a big dog of Warner Records, 10%. But he's the big dog still of Warner Music Group at 4%. You know what I'm saying? By the way, of the whole Universal, Drake is 2%. Taylor's 5, he's 2. So again, two Taylors is 1 Drake. Then we get Morgan Wallen. And by the way, this is only for 2024. Morgan Wallen, right, he's on Republic as well. But he's 6%. Right? And then he's 1% or about 2 of Universal. Then we get, it's not Interscope, is it? Billie Eilish? She's 4% of that and 1% of Universal. Now, granted, Universal has thousands of artists, right? Kendrick happens to be 6th. I think this is his highest placement ever. And his label group, his shit is actually still, I don't know why it's still folding. I thought this was PG Lang, but it's still folding up under Interscope and Geffen. They have a music group going on. I think it's Interscope Music Group, IMG. So he's 4% of Interscope and 1% of Universal. Then Luke Combs, he's 19%. What is this, though? 19% of what? Oh, this is Sony Music. So Luke Combs is the big dog on Sony Music. Or, Sony Music. 1.51% for the whole music entertainment group. And then 20%, so he's, he has the most market share beyond Taylor Swift for the label of this is Sony Music, what? Nashville? I can't really see it. Fuck. Post Malone, he's on Republic as well. 3% responsible for Republic's consumption, 1% for UMG. Kanye is the most impressive person on this whole list, Chad. most motherfucking impressive person, right? They're trying to say he's universal based on, I think he was going through food, and then he went to a few other distribution hubs. But here's the thing: his music, his back catalog, is still going through Def Jam. So his back catalog is still going through Def Jam, and yeah, essentially, just Yeezy label group. I don't even know how they come up with just like 22%. It just shows how dominant Kanye is. Like, I see why my nigga's getting his dick sucked on a fucking boat, right? Like, his back catalog is just eating everybody up. Pause. Like, he's just going crazy. And then his new catalog is independent, which is he's just still number one. What the fuck? Kanye is a beast. And Travis Scott, who's on Epic, he's 14% of Epic. He's a big dog over at Epic. The next person is going to be is Future. Future is definitely going to be number 2. I think Epic is going to be, well, Travis is number 1, Future number 2, and I think 21 Savage is probably going to be number 3. Okay, so cool. So 14% of that and 1% or 1.4 of Sony Music Entertainment. Then we get Eminem, who's in Interscope. Okay. Then we get SZA. Okay. Then we get The Weeknd, Republic. Then we get YoungBoy. That's crazy. YoungBoy's on Capitol. He's a big dog over at Capitol Atlantic. Well, actually, not fully the big dog at Capitol. Really, he's 1% of Capitol. He's 4% of Atlantic. So they use his catalog is split between Atlantic and Capitol, and distribution between Warner and UMG. Yeah, pretty good. So consumption wise and like market share wise, he beats even Beyonce. Beyonce's that. Okay, cool. Then we have Sabrina Carpenter. Don't really know who she is. Noah Khan, Ariana Grande. Then we have Big Future. I told you, Future was definitely going to be number 2 behind Travis Scott on Epic right here. Suicide Boys. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. I don't even really know too much of who they are, but they go through Sony Orchard. Sony Orchard means you're getting the bag. You don't see Bad Bunny, but Bad Bunny should be on this because he's also going through Sony Orchard. He's getting the fucking bag too. All right, let's see. And then, this has the whole list. All right. It's a data from, is it Luminate? Year to blah, blah. And it has YoungBoy with that and Kanye with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not bad. Not fucking bad at all. Not bad. YoungBoy's getting to the bag. All right, yeah. Everybody on here, these are people who, depending on how their release schedule is, and, these guys could ask for significant. No one in here would be getting, if you ask me, like, this would be the top 20 draft picks if you're going to start a label. So these are the top 20 draft picks in music if you're starting a label. Obviously, there's a few missing people, like, for example, Bad Bunny, but it's because Bad Bunny has this weird situation where, number one, Bad Bunny's, a lot of his consumption is international, but also he's through Sony Orchard, which he gets some of the highest, he gets paid very lovely. But I don't know why he's not on this list. It's probably because most of his consumption is coming from outside the United States. That's probably what it is. It's probably within the United States. I could probably look. Oh, I gotta look at it. Is that what? Albums, blah, blah. SCA, market share. I'm like turning my head type shit. Yeah. I think this is the United States. Yeah, if it's data from Luminate, Luminate's going to be United States focused. Yeah, okay. So that's why Bad Bunny's not on this. But if this was globally, I think Drake might be still number 2, but Bad Bunny would definitely be right here if this was globally, 100%. Okay. I hope that made some sense to y'all. So really, if you're drafting as a label perspective, if you want to draft people to make y'all money, you would start from here. You would get the big dog. So, you know, like having the first pick of the draft is like drafting two Drakes, right? You want me to compare Drake and Kendrick? Like, we like drama, right? Drake is two Kendricks. Okay. Yeah. So Drake is two Kendricks. Taylor is two Drakes. Just to compare their numbers, of Republic, which Republic's a bigger label, right? It's a bigger label. It's 8%. Well, is it a bigger label than the Interscope? Was Interscope Geffen? What's the last one? I forgot what it is. Okay, yeah, it's still 2%, right? 1 to 2, because both are under Universal Music Group. Kendrick is 1.1, Drake is 2.18. Yeah, 2. So 2. If you get two Kendricks, you equal a Drake, and it's only for this year. And probably most of that is just not like us. Let's keep it being like, who the fuck is listening to some of the shit he's putting out, right? But so if you get, for this year, Kendrick's probably most successful year since 2017. If you get two Kendricks, you finally get a Drake. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy. Let's see. Who else? And that's kind of crazy if this is for 2014, because Future dropped 2 projects and Kendrick still, Kendrick has a catalog, but Future do got a hell of a catalog too. You know what's crazy? Youngboy is over Future, and Future dropped 2 albums. So technically, if we're drafting, you draft Youngboy before Future. Why? Youngboy has so much catalog. His shit's just consumed more. And by the way, yes, it counts YouTube and all that shit too. Somebody be like, he does not streamed on DSPs.